Hi guys, welcome to my channel once again. My name is Cliff, and today we'll be having a conversation about artificial AI. I said artificial AI, artificial intelligence, AI. Yeah, let me put it the right way, artificial intelligence. And we'll be having conversations about the advantages, disadvantages, what we should expect in the future, and what we need to know to arm ourselves for the future. So, like, everybody knows artificial AI, all it does is it deals with computer kind of advancing in the way that the computer can correct itself and can kind of do certain tasks without any human effort. So that's basically artificial intelligence. That means the computer is kind of becoming intelligent and be able to perform certain tasks without any human intervention. And when you look at the 80s, the 60s, like Ford brought the processing line in production. So the processing line in production made kind of production faster. People were able to do things in a meticulous and faster way. So there was a lot of product turnout within the shortest possible time. So when we come to computing, there are certain parts of computing, like first, if you needed, let me use a classic example. At first, we had the cord phones. Then we went to the cordless. Then we went to from cordless. We had cordless, but we're still in the house because it was limited to locations. Then we went to the mobile phones, which were those big bricks that people had during the early 80s and 90s. Then it became from the mobile phone, then we came to the pages where people could send text messages. Then the pager was merged with the mobile phone. Then we had started having SMS text messages. Then later on, pictures was added to it, so we could kind of send pictures and receive pictures. Then a camera was added. Then you can now take pictures, send pictures, and receive. And then the video part was added. And later on, it started to evolve into thanks to Steve Jobs, who is like a genius, kind of brought the iPhone. Then we went to a very digital advanced version that the applications came on, where now there are different applications which was brought on, and it kind of grew the industry of information technology, especially with that great bold step that Steve Jobs did by creating the iPhone. It kind of pushed the application, environment of technology that people were it made a lot of people rich, and it destroyed a lot of businesses. So at first you could take a picture, and you need to have a film, and you need to go to the photo lab for it to be kind of generated to the negative. Then the negatives will be generated to printable hard copy pictures. And if you're trying to send to somebody, you need to go to the post office and send a mail. Look at it was so cumbersome just to send a simple picture to somebody. And it's even 2 days, because let's say you take a picture right now and you want to send it to somebody in another continent or anywhere in the world. It takes less than 3 minutes. It should get to anywhere in the world. But first, if you take a picture, even took sometimes days to develop the film, to print the film, to take it to the post office. Then the postal period too is going to delay for that person to receive just a simple picture. And let's say the picture was a wrong take, the whole process started again. But information, the computer world has kind of developed in a way that everything has been simplified and everything has been made easy. So now people are losing their jobs. Like the post office do not have a lot of pictures being sent again, because people could send more than 50,000 pictures within every second around the world. So the post office is losing business, but that's just by the way. And I remember those times you could write letters to celebrities somewhere, and they autograph their pictures and it will be sent to you. But you don't even need those things anymore. If you want to get a picture of, let's say, a celebrity like, let me use your regular celebrities, Kim Kardashian, you just go to the internet, download it into a JPEG file. If you want to print and bloat it on your wall in your room, you can do that. But now you don't need to write a whole letter to Kim Kardashian to send you a picture with an autograph on it, because you can even get an autograph online to tag on your picture to make it look legit, which could be fake. So that's just a brief way of summarizing how a continuous process was kind of reduced to a simple process, which is now what could take days has been made to take seconds. And now it's been made so easy that even you don't need the skill to what? Take photos. A kid, you can show a kid several takes and the kid could take a very pretty picture and send it to anybody in the world. First, you need a professional cameraman who knows to set those aperture settings, the white balance, to just take a picture. But now every kid can take it, because what? Even the cameras have been advanced so much that we have autofocusing, auto white balance, auto aperture settings, which is making things extremely easy. So back to our topic, when we talk about artificial intelligence, AI, what it means is it's going to reduce all the processes of, let's say, in the computer world. If you're a pure IT guy like myself, as a business analyst and a cybersecurity expert, if you're a guy like myself, let's say, if you're doing a product life cycle, you're trying to develop an application or a solution, or you're doing an update, CR, in your business, you need PMs, you need product owners, you need scrum masters, you need business analysts, you need developers, you need testers, and you need other business analysts to do the documentation and all that. But what is going to happen in the future is there are a lot of people whose jobs are going to be cut off because technology is going to take over. Like, let's say, as a business analyst and a cybersecurity expert, most of the times when it comes to, let's say, writing business requirements, most of the times you can describe those business requirements to, let's say, ChatGTP. ChatGTP can literally give you a very good detailed business requirement, which sometimes could beat what you were thinking of. And I encourage a lot of business analysts to kind of use that to get more ideas when they write a business analyst, which helps them a lot, and especially testers, because it gives you a broader point of testing which may not cross your mind. So AI has been so advanced that ChatGTP can now do most of the jobs that business analysts do, developers do, and also testers do. AI basically is automation. With AI, this automation has a big data backing it, and that big data gives the automation a lot of knowledge as to what it is trying to do, because it has a lot of data backing it, where it can have different algorithms and different knowledge to take a decision. So that is basically AI, artificial intelligence. Now let's look at let's use Elon Musk as an example. That guy is a smart guy and is the Steve Jobs of our time. Of our time, and I think he's more. He's taking us to space and all that. Let's look at how his system is built. He lately kind of bought Twitter, and now it's called X, and it's doing very well. And he has the Starlink, which is the constellation of satellites, which is also doing very well, because they have the the ships, that's the Falcons, to kind of shoot the rockets into the air and kind of distribute the satellite in the orbit. So it's kind of a vertical system that he has created, and nobody kind of saw it, but it's happening. Now he also has Neuralink, and Neuralink is trying to connect the kind of the brain to kind of a chip which can communicate to an external system, where it can help people to kind of remember stuff and also communicate with their devices more kind of efficiently. Now he also has Tesla. Tesla is also a technology. I don't see it as a car. I drive a Tesla. It's not a car. It's a technology, because it has those cameras, which are always, when you're driving, picking data, understanding the way you drive, understanding the changes in road updates and how the car is supposed to behave. So with all these things, right, data is going to Elon Musk's how do you call it, companies, right? And as they pick those data, they make meaning of those data, right? So in the future, somebody like Elon Musk, who has also entered into creating robots, is going to be one of the greatest men of our time. Because one, let me give you a clear picture of how this is going to work. One, let's say Elon Musk creates a robot, right? And the robot is trying to mimic me because I have a chip in my head, like the Neuralink chip in my head, which now sends every thought, all my thoughts, into a database. Now the database will be used to feed an artificial intelligence robot which he has created, right? So all my thoughts goes into the database, and the database goes to, let's say, C001, which is my robot, right? And that robot kind of understands everything and thinks like the way I think. But the powerful part of that robot is because it has straight connection to the database, it also has advanced knowledge which I may not have and I will not have. Why? Because artificial intelligence can pick data into the computer world and manipulate the data, but can never send data into the human world, like your brain. No matter how much how do you call it, we may go, maybe we're going to get there, but for now it cannot send data into your brain. But what it can do is what it can re-engineer you by feeding you with certain knowledge which may change your thinking pattern. You see, so it's like, let's say you get fake news for a long time, like then you think A is A and B is A, because always you get fed the wrong information for a long time. You get what I'm saying? So yes, it's going to influence you, but it is not going to change your mind, because human beings are a unique species. But in the future, what is going to happen is the continuation feeding of the wrong data will change your thought process, and it will change your mind. Because science also in biology is trying to kind of develop pharmaceuticals which will also influence the behavior, like psycho drugs, to influence the behavior of human beings. So let's say with physics and biology coming together with the chemistry of the pharmaceuticals being mixed together, human beings in the future will become robots, but will be limited in knowledge, because artificial intelligence, which were human activities that have been collected for a long period of time, has been fed into data. And now Elon Musk, using Neuralink, has fed those data, and Twitter. So Twitter also collects data, because human activities, let's say you have a Twitter page, you are let's say a leftist or a right guy, you're a Republican, whatever you are, and you keep tweeting, your Twitter pattern kind of continues in a certain trend. So let's say the algorithm in YouTube, if you keep watching certain type of videos, YouTube feeds you those type of videos. So Twitter is also collecting data. Tesla is also collecting data. So what will be happening is, in the future, human beings will not be needed, but machines will be needed. So whatever profession you are in right now, you may go like, oh yeah, maybe this is going to happen in a million years. Sorry, my brother and my sister, it's happening now. It's happening today. It's happening tomorrow. It's happening now. And we need to readjust ourselves into those systems, because one, now the computers can perform most of the tasks, but when it comes to those physical tasks, because the human beings still have added advantage, because automation, let's say with machines cannot do it. That's why robots are being developed to be human-like, to have all the human kind of features, to perform human activities, whereby human beings will be replaced with robots. We're not going to replace human beings with conveyor belt robots again, but we're going to replace human beings with robots which have the human-like feature and behave like humans, because they have connections through Neuralink to a database to what? Through constellations of satellites, which feeds those robots. So robots are going to have something like antennas. Our antennas physically right now is our mobile phones. Their antennas is connected in their DNA because they are robots. So let's say a robot working somewhere in LA, it's connected to the Starlink constellation, so knows everything which is happening. So let's say when something happens in, let's say, Florida, the robot has the latest update. So back to all this AI stuff. One, AI is here to stay with us. Two, AI is going to take over the world, and it's going to take over a lot of industries within the next 20 years. We'll be shocked. It's moving very fast. And also, AI is going to be a detriment to humanity. That is why people like Elon Musk is kind of calling for a little bit of restructuralization of AI, whereby there will be control, because there need to be policies to control, one, what can be pushed out there and what cannot be pushed out there. Because these are computers, when they become mad and they start thinking on their own, they could destroy us. But the good thing is, when we start going to Mars, when the rockets, the the Starship is ready to go to Mars, the good thing is we can send the robots there first to invade the planet, do all the testing, the human activities. So human beings do not need to risk their life to go to Mars, but robots will be sent there, and with the constellation of the Starlinks, which maybe may stretch their bandwidth to Mars, will give us direct communication, whereby all those activities where NASA astronauts need to do will be done by the robot. So maybe let's say in the next 30 years, we don't need astronauts to be flying to the space station anymore. We'll send robots over there, which kind of have Starlink chips in their brains, and they are connected to human beings on ground, and which are kind of feeding them with knowledge to perform certain activities and certain tests. And it's going to reduce costs, because human beings being in space is very expensive. You need to provide food, you need to provide facilities like toilet facilities and all those things. But with robots being there, they are machines. You just need to keep their battery going with the solar energy over there, and they are good to go forever. So even during COVID, let me bring you back to another topic. During COVID, we found out the power of AI. We didn't need teachers anymore. One teacher could teach a lot of students now because they were doing everything remote, and the tests they were taking were done remote. So kind of the kids go online, log in, take the test. Now a teacher does not need to take a red pen to go through to mark, but he has the answers. He just clicks enter, and everybody gets their score at the end of the test, so they don't need to wait a week for the teacher to go through. You get me? So I think artificial intelligence has come to stay, and as a young man or anybody who is trying to enter into any profession, first you have to look at it, that is this profession going to last for long? Two, you should look at updating yourself with the current trends. And also three, you should kind of keep educating yourself, not just the trend, but keep educating yourself. So maybe this is a long video, but this is the short thing I want to say about artificial intelligence. What's your view? What's your take? I'd like us to have a chat on the chat comment sessions. Go through, read, give me some chats. Let's know what's on your mind. If we have a Zoom call so that we go through an interview or a meeting or a chat or a conversation, we can do that. Thank you. Enjoy this channel, and I'll see you again. Bye.